Hey everybody, today we're going to compare the English cucumbers that you buy at the grocery store to the West Coast Seeds Tasty Green English cucumber. This is the seed packet. So these are the Tasty Green cucumber plants. There's 4 of them here. And I'll show you what some of the cucumbers look like here. So here's one. And this one's ready to harvest. And then there's another one down here. Let's see here. This one ready to harvest or maybe another day. So just comparing this while it's on the vine, it's roughly the same size. They will grow bigger if you leave them on the vine. So these are some more tasty green cucumbers that I've got in the garden. And this one here is over 30 centimeters long. It's a little bit big for my liking. The seeds are probably going to be a bit bigger in them. Probably want to pick them when they're, a little bit shorter, mid-20s. But yeah, they grow large and straight if you trellis them, just like the ones at the grocery store. So I love growing these because it's great to grow your own vegetables, of course. Okay, so we've got the cucumbers inside here. On the left, we've got the long English cucumber they bought at the grocery store, and on the right, we've got the Tasty Green cucumbers from West Coast Seeds. And this one we've already cut into a little bit here, but as for going through comparing them, color, they're about the same color, both a dark green. The Tasty Greens have a bit of a light green towards the flower end of the cucumber. Size, similar size between them. The one from the store is maybe a little bit longer, but if you leave the Tasty Greens on the vine longer, they'll get as big as well. As for the shape, the one from the store is perfectly straight, whereas the other ones have a little bit of a curve to it, but that's going to depend how you trellis them and how they hang while they're growing, so they're all pretty straight. I'm happy with that anyway. As for the firmness, when you're pressing on them, the English cucumber from the store is a little bit more firm. However, it's hardly noticeable when the Tasty Greens are fresh. If you leave the Tasty Greens in the fridge for a few days, then they'll get softer, but as I said, fresh, they're basically the same firmness. One thing on the outside of the Tasty Greens, though, is they have the little burrs on them. They're not sharp by any means. There's little bumps, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what they're called, but I honestly usually leave them on when I'm cooking with them or making a salad. But you can take them off. They're just little hard little things that will peel off. But whereas the English cucumber from the store doesn't have any of that, but it's not a huge deal. But they are there. This is another Tasty Green. Just a little bit smaller one. It wasn't on the vine as long. So here you can see the seeds, and then compared to the bigger one, of course, the bigger cucumber, bigger seeds. Skin is very thin on both, and they're both very tasty. So this is the long English cucumber from the store, and looking at it, the seeds are actually quite small compared to the size. Skin is thin, but it's actually a little bit thicker than the Tasty Greens. Size across for the long English cucumbers compared to the West Coast Seeds Tasty Greens. I guess about similar. About 4 centimeters or 1.5 inches. For the long English from the store, and then again, it depends how big you grow the cucumbers on the vine there. So how do they taste compared to each other? Well, they both taste like a cucumber. They're fairly similar. The long English cucumber from the store is maybe a little bit more firm when you bite into it, a bit of a more crunch, but very comparable to the Tasty Green. The Tasty Green, when you let them get big, you notice the seeds a bit more when you're eating them. Like you hardly notice them, but you could tell that they're there if you're searching for them. But again, it depends on how long you actually leave them on the vine to how big the seeds will get. Like on the smaller one, you don't even notice the seeds. So they both taste similar. They both do have a decent crunch, and the seeds are hardly noticeable. They are very comparable to each other. So if you're looking for a cucumber from West Coast Seeds that's comparable to the Long English that you get from the store, the Tasty Greens, I definitely recommend those.